The finals just had its brand new update 8.7. I'll cover all the details with that, as well as the recent developer livestream, where there is some additional context for the future of the finals. That does include some brand new Season 9 or even 10 teasers, so we'll cover those developer comments there, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, World Utopia here, back in another video. Today we're checking out all things the finals. Okay, so first up here for the patch notes side of things. At the top here, we had the event reminder for the Ghoul Rush and the Haunted Harvest. This is the second week of the Ghoul Rush. That also did include the Haunted Harvest, where they do mention here to keep smashing those pumpkins, or you can get some sweet rewards. And of course, if you do need to, you can always purchase the remainder missed rewards, where that can be done with multi-bucks. Now, there was actually one content and bug fix here that did pertain to a cosmetic, where they have adjusted the balance between combat and support score for the Yin Yang Bang set. It should now result in a more dynamic skin that changes with your actions throughout the match. It is a mythic skin, so it does have some sort of effects to it. However, it did seem like the effect was a bit slower overall, so they have kind of made it a bit more dynamic and active there. Also, last up here for the patch notes, I'm sure you've seen by now, but Arc Raiders is now live, so that is Embark's second game here. So to celebrate the launch, they gave everybody a free Scrappy Charm and an Arc Raider sticker that was sent to you directly into your in-game mailbox. So you can check those out here. You got a little Scrappy the Rooster charm and of course that sticker. So pretty cool to see there. And of course, no matter what game you're playing, either the finals or Arc Raiders, you're still pretty much supporting Embark. So I'm sure they're happy with both launches there. As per usual, we did get a new shop update. That does include 4 new weekly outfits here. We have the La Feria Sempasuchil, which is a full set there, as well as an ornate onslaught to match. The Corn to Be Wild set, nice little candy corn outfit, and then last but not least there we have the Ofrenda Steel set. That does round it off for the 8.7 patch notes as well as the new store update, but of course we did have a brand new developer live stream with a ton of information packed in there, and even some additional comments outside of the stream that I will go over as well. The first one here does pertain to the majors, and Rob went in here and asked, did anybody leak the rewards if you visit the majors yet? Now, as of right now, no real leaks except from Rob himself, where we do know there's going to be that limited sale and exclusive mouse, which is being branded the Finals mouse. Now, I was still never able to pinpoint which one it would be, but we looked at a few like the X2H, which is from Pulsar Gaming, or even like some of their other limited line mice. It could be a special edition mouse that they do make specifically for the finals. We'll have to wait and see though, but it is from Pulsar Gaming. The next one here again is from Rob. People were essentially asking, how does Arc Raiders tie in? How is it going to be with the finals and both of those games running at the same time? Rob just hit on here that Arc Raiders is their second game that did launch on that day, which was yesterday, or the 30th, depending on when you're watching this video. So they were just essentially celebrating that, but the finals will always be here. I will also mention, even though Arc Raiders was their second release game, Arc Raiders was actually the game that they started to work on when they first made Embark, where the finals was actually being developed over a year later, but they ended up releasing the finals sooner so that they could rework Arc Raiders, as it was originally just a PvE game, where they eventually turned into an extraction shooter or PvPvE. Just kind of an interesting fact there. There was another additional leak here from Rob, and this was going over some of the holiday events, or even like the LTM that happens around the holiday. Of course, last one we had these snowball fights. Well, this time around he does mention that there might be a Giga Ned that returns, where he's in there throwing giant snowballs into Monaco this time. So instead of the rocks, he's just throwing snowballs. It does seem like that's going to be the LTM for the winter season. So pretty cool there. I'm guessing we'll still get the snowball fight, and then potentially Giga Ned will just be in there as well. But yeah, we're already basically getting a teaser for the winter LTM. Now next up here, and this is pretty much asked every single stream, but someone asked here, is there a chance the finals does go to Nintendo Switch 2? It a little bit does make sense since they got it working on a PlayStation 4. And it actually is to note here, the Nintendo Switch 2 does actually outperform the PlayStation 4, both in GPU, CPU, and even in RAM. It also does get upscaling tech with DLSS, so it kind of does make sense that we would get a Switch 2 port, although given Rob's comments, it looks like it's not in the pipeline, which is a little bit unfortunate to hear. But I also don't want it to be held back by that system, although if it's on the PS4 then it really can't be in some scenarios, given that it is an upgrade and exceeds the PlayStation 4 in CPU and GPU though, and it also has that NVIDIA architecture, so it does get DLSS. It actually does make sense for it to be on that platform. I guess we'll have to wait and see though. Unfortunately, it looks like it might not be in the pipeline and is still being drawn up. Now, I did go through the audio version of the live stream where Oscar is talking, going through things, and there wasn't any really leaked discussion there or at least any news updates or anything like that. Mostly just talked about the Arc Raiders stuff that's happening, kind of celebrating the launch there, and working on his achievements for the finals. So no seasonal teasers or anything like that inside the stream itself. However, we did get some additional developer comments that did give us some future teasers at some future seasons. Now, whether this is for Season 9 or Season 10, we'll kind of go over here, where Rob was responding in chat and even asked if Dusty was here. So of course we knew something was going to leak, and that was even pointed out by Embark Christian. Rob goes on to say, I thought I was safe to leak the medieval season, but I guess with mom and dad and granny and the siblings here in chat, no dragons this season. So it does look like we are still getting the medieval season, and Dusty even said, you are banned for life. So this definitely does seem like a verified leak here. Although Rob does say it's not Season 9 promise, but that could be a tie in here. I also do want to give a shout out to PETA for adding me and letting me know that's what's going on. So yeah, pretty wild here. Could be for Season 9, could not be for Season 9. But it does look like we are getting a medieval season, or at least somewhat confirmed here. It does make sense though, that has been teased quite a lot. And I believe if I go back to one of my previous videos, Rob did say something about a new medieval map. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're getting something medieval, either Season 9, Season 10, or just sometime in the future. Very cool to see there. I know a ton of people have really wanted that. Moving on here, we do have our community mentionables. This first one here is just really cool on Embark and fairly wholesome. But a Reddit user here by the name of FlippinMental17 said thank you to Embark for honoring his brother. We essentially did lose his brother to cancer, and they ended up putting a finals sticker inside the game for him. Dusty had reached out, and then they eventually reached out to Rob and the rest of the Embark team. So they did put in a new Josh 13 sticker, and anybody can claim this sticker in-game. It's obviously completely for free. So I'll put the code in the description if you wanted to snag, or you can go to the Reddit post and then head to Embark's website and you can redeem this code. So a pretty big W there from Embark and very, very wholesome. Moving on here with the community stuff, I did want to do one other mention, just because this is such a fantastic interview. I thought about covering some of the details from it, but honestly, this guy just breaks it down so well, and he is a much smaller channel. But this interview was done by the Game Business, and it was with the Embark CEO. It's such a fantastic interview. I do recommend checking it out and viewing it. And there's a lot of cool things there on the finals, Arc Raiders, both games there, as well as the dev and employee philosophy there. Just an awesome all-around interview. So it is 100% worth to check out. Last up here, of course, we do those mentionables for my community, and those are the features from the Star Models page. This first one here comes from Across Games, where he shows off his version of a CNS Edge Runner fit. Definitely has some tie-in with Cyberpunk there. Really liking the purple and black colors here, especially with the shoes. Next up here, we have one from Maddie, who says this one's doing a bit of aura farming. I actually really like this one. I've seen it a few times on my scroll up through this page, and very much enjoyed this fit. But I also really do like the color purple, so that could be a bit of a bias there, so I really like how that has that LED effect at the bottom, as well as how the hair ties in with the mask. It is very nice. Third up here, we have one from Pan Milk Tea, and this happened with the unfortunate passing of Ozzy Osbourne, but he did do an Ozzy Osbourne cosplay, so a very nice tribute there, and very well done. Next up here, we have one from Kitsune. It shows off just kind of a clean fit here with the Signal Lost helmet, and a very nice matching fit overall. Last up here, but not least, we have one from Mr. Famous, with some really nice Dis-Sun cosmetics here, all matching in tandem with each other, and using that nice Season 5 helmet piece. Overall, should about cover for today's video. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce!